Are we on record, yeah? Yeah? Oh, God help us and save us. It's that time of the fucking month again. I can't. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, fuck, I forgot the intro. Ready? We got this one. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the NoSpudz podcast. Yes! Fucking yes, we got there. And we got there in good grace. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, should I say. It is a pleasure to be back on the 4th episode of the NoSpudz podcast. And of course, I'm always joined with the two most biggest devils, the old devils that you'll get around the roads. And that is Theo, my nephew, and of course,
I'm not
John.
a devil, I'm a saint.
I don't know about that. And what's your name?
Johnny Mac.
Johnny Blue. Johnny Mac. You ever get a box? You ever get a box of 20 Johnnies? Well, we got one here. Anyway, boys, how's the farm?
Good, Will. How are you?
I'm good. I got the creaky chair this week for some reason.
Yeah, well, sure. Look, come here. You were late in, so we grabbed the soft chairs, you know.
Yeah. Why not? Listen. I tell these boys to be here at 4:30. I come at 5:30. Really, the time is at 5:30. But you have to lie to the boys, because if you don't lie to the boys will tell you that the bus broke down. Fucking pigeons took over my backyard. They're eating bread. They're shitting all over the place. You know what I mean? Something comes out of it anyway. So, best to have the boys here and waiting. Isn't that right, NoSpudz podcast people? I'm very excited today. Very excited. Okay, let's talk about what's coming up in the show, boys. And I calm myself down a small bit. Johnny, you are always with the depressing stuff. Hit us.
Thanks very much, but this week it's not going to be all the doom and gloom. I was going to talk about the HSC paying out all the money, the 110 million. We're not doing that. I'm just going to talk about something positive.
We done.
The weekend and the Great Limerick Run. And I participated in it.
Of course. And outside of that, we're going to do a small little bit more talking about what it is to be a part of the traveller culture. Myself and Thomas have been on the road this week, so we've got to see a couple of different places. We've actually got the chance to meet the fucking ever graceful Thomas McCarthy, and we're going to talk a little bit in depth about him, his show, and just a little bit more about the traveller ethnicity. Boys, I'm telling you, if any radio stations are out there and you're looking for a host that can just start the show after walking in the door an hour late, you will let me know. I got this on lock.
We have a guy.
It's just the man who's on about running in the Limerick thing, and he makes it his whole concept to tell the world that he's running in the Limerick run.
No, it's not my concept to tell that. No,
okay.
It's just about, I suppose, the Limerick run was initiated in 2011 for Limerick City, and it started off at a couple of thousand people, but the weekend gone, there was over 15,000 participants in the Limerick Run, and for the economy in the Limerick City area, it brought in something like 4.5 million. I mean, talk about having a good weekend, like, you know what I mean? And I suppose the weather made it, like.
And where does the money go to?
I suppose it goes to all different charities around. I suppose the money that you pay to do the Limerick Run goes to charity.
I think a lot of it goes to kind of cancer charities.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I don't know which exact charity, but it's split into multi-charities.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know the way that they see, there's a company's name on it, I don't care to
Regeneron.
Yeah, alright.
Regeneron sponsored it.
Anyone want to sue, you know the call, Johnny, honestly. Listen. But so tell me a little bit about it. They sponsor the whole event, and then people fundraise as well.
Then people fundraise. Last year, I fundraisers for the Limerick 3 suicide prevention.
Right.
And raised a few pounds for them. This year, I didn't do any fundraising because I just didn't kind of want to go around asking people, will you sponsor me, this, sponsor me that. You know what I mean? It was just one of them things personally.
People are mean anyway.
Yeah, some people are saying, I'll give it that 20 there, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm bored, will you give me that 20? You said, just sponsor me. Do you know, like, I don't want to be asking people, like.
Yeah.
But I just thought that this weekend was really special because there was a great vibe around the city. There was great multicultural people around, you know, from all different diverse backgrounds. And it was just absolutely brilliant. And the Riverfest as well. I mean, like, it was just a great buzz. The 10K, I done the 10K this year. Running the 10K, The two boys are looking at me here. To say, right, child.
We
We know why you're doing it. The self-praise thing is coming in here now.
We done the intro to the podcast. To say, I don't know, this is not about me, not about you. And the man doesn't stop. How far are we into this, Tom? About 5.5 minutes, and he's still talking about himself and his kilometres. Huh? But anyway, no. Big up, John, for doing it, and of course, this is the parts of your personality in which we admire, because it's the selfless part. Although we take the mick out of it, it is what it is, and to be able to give back and to be sponsoring them kind of things. Like I know personally myself, it wasn't this last year; it was a year prior to that. I ran 300 miles for 3 different charities in the space of a year, and I was like, you know what? I never ran for anything. I was just. A fellow who loved takeaways. I love my fags, my late night fags, whatever you want to call them. I loved all that kind of stuff, and it was just like, okay, I want to do something. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to get involved somehow. And I think the thing that helped me to understand how to get involved was just signing up, and the way that things are signing up now, like, you know, say Facebook offers you these things where you can do it discreetly, and that's what I kind of liked about. And shout out to the Mater Hospital, because I fucking admire you and everything that you do. So one of the foundations was the Mater Hospital that I was running for, and I ran twice in 1 year for them. But to be able to discreetly sign up, to discreetly run my own miles, because like at that time, man, if I was in comparison to people that were fit, like my kilometres might have taken me 7 minutes to do 1 kilometre, where a fit person might take them 4.5 minutes. And I had to kind of come to terms with that in myself as well, and be like, look, Willem, you're not going to be able to get up and run like an athlete straight away, but you can gain ground. You kind of
I think you have to change your diet as well along with that, though.
Yeah.
Never changed my diet up, boys. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but you have to,
I
that's
just
the thing.
suffered the shin splints. So
But
like
that's the thing, though. When you're kind of doing kind of sports and anything kind of active like that, you have to change your diet to that kind of
to cater the intake.
Yeah, so like you're getting the proper proteins and vitamins that you need. To make sure your body, because if you don't, like, you're not actually doing any work for your body. You're just putting your body through pain for no reason.
Putting it through the stresses.
Yeah, for no reason. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing I'm always kind of skeptical about, boys, and I know that other organisations have been exposed for it years prior, but it's just about raising for certain charities. And like, I am very, very against sponsoring things like, you know, oh my God, my house just burned down. Can you give me a $5? Why are you doing it in that accent? Okay, but yeah, so like fucking. But that
what's going on there, like?
But someone I would know, someone that I would actually compassionately care about, yeah, I'd sponsor them. Or if it was for a good cause, like an Irish cause, that I can be like, okay, this is going straight back in.
But you want to know it's actually going back in there, like, do you know what I mean, as well?
Yeah. No, I get your point, what you're saying there. Like, if you know exactly, if someone comes to you and you have sponsorship and they're asking you, will you sponsor me something? And you say, okay, where's the sponsorship going? Because there has been a lot of cases where charities and the CEOs of charities are on 400, 300 grand a year, like.
Yeah.
Like, that's
and they're doing
people's donations, like, that they're living off.
No,
so
I do.
And I do feel that people, like, when they realise, Jesus, that person's on 400 grand a year. Like, how are they on that? And it's supposed to be a charitable organisation. Do you know what I mean?
I do understand that you have to get paid, like, even for charity.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And doing charity stuff, you need to get, there has to be some sort of an income to sustain you being in a charity sector. To take in as much as you possibly can, and then being like, oh yeah, this is offshore, that's offshore, it's probably not the best way of doing it. And that's what gave me the lack of trust as well, man, because I heard all about these organisations.
You're taking the money out of Ireland and making Ireland actually poorer than it is, because it's like you're not recycling the money back in.
But there's even been organisations in Ireland that's the same thing has occurred, where they're just like, they're taking it and putting it into their back pocket.
100%.
But yeah, tell us more about the Riverfest, John. The Riverfest was a good one. I've seen it this year as well.
Yeah, the Riverfest, I suppose, there was like, inside in the Actors Quay Park, there was like a carnival for the kids, and there was all different kind of stalls from all different countries. And like, for food, like, you could have Mexican food, you could have Italian food and things like that. It was just, I felt like I did go in there after a run there on Saturday, and I sometimes, like, what I used to do is, I used to go home straight after the run because I was right. But this year I didn't. I stayed in around because the weather was beautiful. And I went into the park, and there was so many different kind of things, like stalls. And, it was just a great experience, I suppose, like for small little families and families themselves to be able to experience the Riverfest this year.
And do you think that feeds in, like, you know, the way, because you're constantly on the go, you're constantly running, you're constantly doing this thing, and we've previously heard your story about, like, you know, obviously what kind of drove you towards the fitness side of things. But do you feel that it was made easier this year in comparison to last year due to you keeping up that fitness, just keeping up that routine and everything?
Definitely.
And do you feel that that's why you stayed around, because you were like, okay, I'm not actually sweating in my own piss here. I'm grand.
Definitely, yeah.
Bit fitter. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a good point you made there, because last year my time last year was 1 hour 18 minutes, and this year was an hour. So like I just from last year, like it was a massive 18 minutes is a massive improvement.
If someone told you that you had 18 minutes to live, you'd say
a long time then.
You know, so it'd be a long time. Well, I suppose that'd be a very short time. Panic for 5.
Yeah.
Say look for 5.
Amazing, like
have a
like last year, like when I was running, there was 2 guys that passed me out when I was going out towards the Gaelic grounds, right? When I was running, right?
Yeah.
And this year, right, I was coming around the exact same spot. I was running around by the Gaelic grounds, and I passed the 2 of them out. And I was like, "Fuck, man, did I really do that?"
It's an achievement.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was beaming, like, and do you know the way we always kind of talk about the endorphins in the brain and the dopamine effect and things like that, man. I was absolutely buzzing for the whole day and night, and even yesterday, like, do you know what I mean? I even ran again yesterday.
There is no better high in this world than natural release of dopamine. And when you like, I find it, man, because I do a lot of running up and down hills and doing all this, I don't know, Bear Grylls stuff, but I find that when I'm in the outdoors and it's lashing rain and I'm stuck up in some mountain in some forestry getting it back drowned off me, I think that's an absolute incredible feeling, man. I think that we all overlook it. I think because we've become softer, and this is something
it's like you're in tune with nature.
Yeah, and this is something that Sean was saying the last time as well. Shout out Sean Kelly, but he was saying something like along the being submissive. I think we're also gone a little bit too soft. People are like, I understand how much clothes cost these days, boys, and I understand if you want to keep high fashion, you got to have fucking fast passive incomes. Yeah. But like, these boys are gone so soft these days, man, they don't even want to go out and get their shoes wrecked in a puddle. Me, I dive clean through a field and give a dog's care about anything, man.
They don't want to do anything that involves getting their hands dirty whatsoever.
But do you ever see these young fellas, right? And then you talk to them on the roads, and like, they all think that I'm backwards, man. They all think that I'd be off my head and drugs and everything, because I'd be just so full of life. And the only thing that comes from is because you get that natural release of dopamine, and you get up and your serotonin levels are banging, everything is banging.
It is a high, it is a drug at the end of the day.
You're awake at 8 o'clock in the morning, you've your workout done by 9, you've a porridge 8, you've a bars road, you've 12 o'clock in the day, you're fresh, ready to go. And then you talk to these men and they're like, "What's the story, bro?" And they're like, "Well," and it's kind of like,
it brings your whole fucking mood down, didn't it?
Take yourself to a mountain, son, and go running some fucking miles. Because
you haven't experienced anything. They haven't experienced anything whatsoever.
It's kind of like we were having a conversation there, me and Dom in the background there when we came in. And
shout out Dom every time.
How are you doing, Dom?
And we were just saying, you know, like we were talking about years ago, like, you know, when you used to go and skin archers and play conkers and things like that. Like society has gone so social media conscious that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, man, and I think,
you know, and it's like,
bro, but listen, they're pulling out their phones for everything. If someone's getting killed in front of them or someone's getting robbed, they don't care anymore. They're pulling out the phones.
Boys, I have to say this to you. I was at a concert, Kendrick Lamar concert, and I was videoing it, obviously, because you video it, but I was looking outside of my phone, and you know, and it might sound mad, but I found it more entertaining looking at it through my phone, although I was there in the stadium than I was in the present realm, and then I had to snap myself out of it and be like, hold on a minute, bro.
I need to enjoy the moment.
Because you're getting so used to watching your phone all the time, you're thinking, this person's not even in front of me, he's actually on my phone.
Yeah, and it's the maddest thing then when you realise he is, and so I had to click myself out of it there and then and be like, hold on a minute, put this fucking...
Yeah, but it's time to have fun.
Look at the man, like,
experience something.
It's like a comfort thing as well, comfort blanket. When you're looking through, like you said, you got a better vibe looking through your phone because you're so used to looking through your phone like that. You know what I mean? It's a comfort thing.
Yeah, and I suppose it's also the perception. It's also I find that being in them places, man, even going to like places like we were at Maynooth the other day, and like that, the whole campus, man, is
that was
incredible.
mad, man. That was mad.
But, for a year.
But to stop to look at all the different buildings, all the different things.
It's like I said to the last, how did he get in the college on time? The classes on time, man? It's ridiculous.
No,
it's too big, man.
Them people are sweating. When
what?
we went that young fella, we were on the way back from I don't know. We were somewhere else as well. Oh yeah, we were up in Sligo doing another traveller event, and we met this lad on the way back, and I was saying to him, like, I was like, how did you get over and back to college and stuff? And he was like, I sleep in the campus.
Oh yeah, that was what's them dude? Yes. He said he sleeps at the campus. Just so he makes it the class on time every time. That is dedication, bro.
He actually, and then the security caught him on campus and they kicked him off it. And I can't understand why they kicked him off it, because the only fucking reason why he's on the campus is to get the class.
Yeah, on time.
Isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's backwards. But that is dedication. That is madness.
That's commitment.
Like some people out there, they actually submit an education where other people are like literally killing themselves just to get an education.
Yeah, man. And to be honest with you, if I was to compare myself to those who haven't really went to third level education, I just think that happiness is happiness, and wherever you find your happiness, that's where it is. And if you find it that you want to get to a certain place in life, and there's a tier system in which you have to go through, and education gets you there, then go do that. But I know young fellas and men and women that have opted out of third level education, that are striving in jobs like more so than their educated peers. They're freedom, they have life, they have love, they have everything that they've ever wanted, and they're living on a pretty standard wage, but they're overly happy.
But they're happy, yeah.
And then you get us, and we're kind of like, oh yeah, but if I don't make X amount of money now, then what will I be like in 5 months?
Yeah.
Whereas really in 5 months you'll be the same person.
Yeah.
Just
it's like that. I think I seen there recently. It's like people are so poor, all they have is money.
Yeah.
Man. And what was
because people confuse richness with money, you see, that's what it is.
But my pops told me this one the other day, and I think this is a decent little one. He said, if you have friends with money, you'll become a friend with money. And that's genuinely the way I see it. So boys, I hope you fucking have a but I want to be a friend with money. You know what I mean? I want to be that guy.
I have my health, I have my supper.
I don't know about that, Sean. I don't know about that. I think you might have needed a Limerick run. Anyway, so let's get down to it. We had the pleasure of going up to Maynooth and, of course, being in the commercial here inside Limerick. Where else were we? Oh, yeah, and we were in the 3D City Brewery.
Yeah.
And we got to go around for the last couple of days and perform in all these different places as a part of traveller heritage and a part of traveller culture and stuff. And something that really struck out to me was the madness is, like so let's think about it. 1963, the itinerancy report was drafted, and so that we're on 61 years. We're actually 60 years to the manufacturing of that itinerancy report, and look at the difference, man. Within 60 years, we're now travellers that are in third level facilities, third level education. We're lecturing, we're performing, we're creative arts, we're doing all these things, and it's just an incredible feeling to be able to, I don't know, to be appreciated when you come into these places, you know?
Yeah, you're appreciated and you're welcomed and you're actually listening to what you're saying.
Of course.
That's what it is as well, though.
And having met Thomas McCarthy the other day, and shout out to Thomas,
I
think that his whole narrative, man, is true. I think that there is a little bit of understanding in the lines of PTSD when it comes down to like governmental issues and the shades, of course. No one likes them.
No one has luck with them.
It just kind of boils down to the like, what is the core, what is the elements and stuff. And I think with someone like Thomas, because Thomas is one of a rare few that have actually the whole lot of the history of the travellers within him, and so therefore you have to be like open and engaged to listening to him. And I think to having spoke to him over the last couple of days, I think Thomas is a very insightful person, and I think he's nearly an archive of all the information in which we need, of course, as young travellers coming up, to be able to bridge the gap between the old and the young, and to obviously understand where we come from. And so I think having performed alongside him, but having the pleasure to be able to have a conversation with him, I kind of garnished a new understanding of what it is to be a traveller, and
got a new perspective for it.
Yeah, man, and how we can work it to our narrative.
It kind of give you more of an appreciation of like who you are and where you came from.
Yeah, to be
to say we started out here to so look at us right now, like
Yeah, and the thing
difference.
about it is, when he started telling me that the Irish state in itself, like, they were, like, it's not even 100 years old.
Yeah, it's not 100 years old, yeah.
And that, like, you know, say 100 years ago, maybe a little bit more, there would have been fucking English ruling here for 800 years, and then thus became the Irish
Sure, even
army.
look at the house I live in. It's a Victorian house. That wasn't meant for Irish people. That was meant for English people who would, like, say, dukes and all that kind of stuff, who used to come over and then just stay here. That's what all them houses were built for. They weren't built for the Irish people whatsoever. The best part of the Irish people, like, lived, well, travellers as well, they all lived in barns or at the side of the road and stuff like that, like, do you know what I mean?
But that, and then if you look at our traveller counterparts, man, like, that we all lived on the side of the road as well, and I think having the understanding that this thing of Ireland and the formation of Ireland 100 years ago was under suppression, was under these like fucking, how am I going to say it, pandemic in a sense of
dictatorship.
Yeah.
When it was under dictatorship, there was a step in which the Irish people created or found, and it was kind of like that sub-part of the travelling culture from it. And the thing that was overlooked, and I think the thing that we need to keep promoting, hence why we're saying it on the show, is that like our nomadic culture, we survived here as long as the Irish people did. We were also under all of that stuff with the English. We also faced all of these things, and we also held an occupation even on the battlefield when the Irish were going against the English. And if you think about a battlefield and you think about all the weapons that they would have had back then, like in the lines of spears, swords, javelins, the whole lot,
armour,
all of them would have been founded and made by a tinker. And I don't mean a tinker as in what you think I'm talking about, a tinker. I'm actually talking about a man who actually worked with tin, and he was known as a tinsmith or a tinker. On the other side of it, then we were also known as like the story keepers of Ireland, the story keepers of our cultures. And like when travellers, because of modern day plastics and stuff like that, the occupations that were once held by travellers started to dry up, and which led people who had predominant occupations in tinsmithing and all to begin travelling, hence the travelling aspect to the travellers. I'm sorry that I have to overemphasise that. Just having one of them days, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it does begin. We went on the road and then we started telling stories because we were the only people that were passing through different villages. We were like circus people in a sense. We would come to different towns.
But isn't it mad, like the way, like, say, we've always been storytellers, even to right now to this day, like ourselves, we're still storytellers.
Well, I'm after telling some story.
That's some story.
Man, I'm after hurting my face and on.
It was actually great to listen to the I suppose how good that you love your heritage and things like that.
But that's what it is. Like you have to appreciate
compassion and then passion. I see.
No matter where you come from, doesn't make a difference if you come from the traveller culture or any other culture. You have to be happy with who you are and and what you are, because otherwise, like, you'll never ever be happy, and that's just plain facts.
The other side of it is, and something that I realised at the gigs as well, is that we overlook as travellers. We overlook the presence of settled people that actually come out to support, to show face, to engage, and I think that's something that is unfortunate that has, you know, been overlooked with those who actually want to fucking help, man.
Yeah.
And we put it at such a high narrative that all settled people don't like travellers and all travellers don't like settled people. Well,
that's just ignorance of it. Like,
I don't know if I like John, but I like Dom. Dom is a nice fella. John is all right. But like, I want to say on behalf of us, to say to them settled people and to say to settled people who engage with travellers in any capacity, thank you, because this is what is going to be breaking down the barriers. Is us coming halfway, ye coming the other halfway, and we meeting in the middle. And if we want to trash it out, we'll trash it out. But at the end of the day, we're actually putting in the effort, which is something that never previously happened. And so I think it is a great time in Ireland to be a traveller. And if there is any travellers that are ever listening to this podcast, I would just inspire you, or I hope to inspire you to just get up, get out, get active, and you know, all of them fears, them social fears and all that kind of stuff, that'll all start to disintegrate. It just takes by you getting out there and putting your step forward. And you see, I'll shut up then. You see them people, you know, ye people that run these organisations, and you see these young travellers coming in, and you see these people and they're rattling and the whole lot. Be nice, man.
Yeah.
Be nice. Because you don't know how much it takes for a travelling person to come up out of that side with all of this stuff that they're listening to in that side and go out there and try and chase their dreams. So if you do know a traveller who's out there chasing these dreams, or her dreams, or its dreams, go fucking thank them, go inspire them, go make that a lot of an easier process for them, because it's a hard old life out there when you don't.
It is, and it's very, like, depending, like, it's mostly, say, we'll talk about the kind of boy aspect of it, like, because for a travelling boy, like, it is hard to kind of go out and trying to chase your dreams when you've been told, oh, you need to go away and make money, you need to get a wife, you need to get this, you need to get that, where you're not actually getting asked, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with yourself?
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to make a copy of a copy of a copy, and keeping them all in the same kind of box. And it's like what you said, and like keeping them all in the same box instead of leaving people branch out and find out, oh, maybe I'm good at doing this. Instead of never knowing about, like, say, like, even when I started doing the music and stuff like that, like, I never knew that I could be good at it or anything like that. So, like, if I never actually took those steps, like, I would have never known that. I wouldn't be here right now.
The only thing I would say about the marriage and about travellers marrying into travellers and everything like that, I believe that had to happen. I don't believe that there would have been a population of travellers that would have surpassed the test of time.
Yeah, they wouldn't be still
only
there.
For that we married into each other, only for that we kept the traveller ethnicity, keep going, keep all of that stuff lit. That's what grew the population of the travellers. That's why there is over 40,000 travellers now in Ireland in comparison to maybe fucking 4,000 or 5,000 back in the 60s. Or there could have been identified travellers.
Identified
travellers.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, and the other thing about it is, like, it is that pressure, and it's unfortunate because we also do hold the highest suicide rate per capita within such a small minority of people within such a small country.
Very shocking.
And the thing about it is that, like, young travelling men, young travelling women are put under them pressures to
at young ages as well, though.
To get out, get yourself a woman, get yourself married, get yourself this, get yourself that. And that's okay. If that's what you want to do, go and do that. That's okay. Like, we're not telling you not to do that. We're not telling you that's not your way of life.
If they don't go out and do that, then they're put down over it. That's the worst. That's the point about it then as well, though.
But this is what irritates me. The reason why they get put down is because of two things. It's from their own traumatic experience.
Yeah.
So that person who puts that person down, who goes out and tries to get it for themselves, that's them feeding into their own traumatic things and their own underestimation of themselves. And they try and put others down to make sure that they never surpass anything that they don't. They never made it out of the site because they didn't have the balls.
Exactly.
Or they didn't have the quint. You know what I mean?
A lot of that is jealousy. A lot of that is genuine jealousy of each other.
It's sometimes then as well as lack of education.
It is, but it's a lack of education in social education as well.
Oh, yeah.
In getting out there and saying, hello, how are you? You know, the thing that I absolutely loved about this week was I was able to meet people. So I'm a part of a thing called the Widden Workshop, and that's with College Connect and Toos and all them. Shout out to the Widden crew. But when we following all the performances, we were able to sit down in a room and we were able to look at all these people, and it was just kind of, it was lovely, man, to be able to sit down in a room and to be able to
stories
see
as well.
Inspirational, was it?
Maybe 20 travellers just all sitting in a room in one of the highest renowned colleges in Ireland, talking about the input of work that we've had in engaging with other travellers to get them into education. Like, that's madness, man.
Yeah.
That's madness. But if I went into some of the boys that I would have known back in the day, or to some of my own family or whatever, and I said, this is what we're doing, they'd go, who are you, man, will you, with your stupidness?
Yeah, we're doing something with focus here.
But that's the narrative. That's the narrative, and it's only stupid. It's just they're not educated.
But it's just they're repeating what their parents are saying and what everyone else is saying around them as well. They're not actually thinking for themselves.
But you see, that's and that comes from, as we learned, John, that comes from intergenerational traumas and PTSD handed down from generation to generation, and it's actually never going outside the box to educate yourself. And so that's why you repeat the same narrative as generations before. But I believe that from every clan of families, that there's one child born that breaks all of that.
That breaks the cycle.
That breaks that cycle.
And I
definitely.
Think
it comes.
There's two in ours, though.
But it comes in different capacities, man. It could be that they go on drugs, they don't go on drugs. The family could be alcoholics. One doesn't turn into an alcoholic, but there's always seems to be
something. There's always something.
You know?
Yeah, there's always something.
I suppose when the younger people, when they see that, they'd say to themselves, I want some of that.
Yeah, because at the time they think it's cool and it's fancy.
That stuff, whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to break the cycle. And I want to go on and I want to be happy and I want to do what that person's done.
Kind of find out one of the first kind of things, and I suppose because it comes hand in hand, because what I'm about to say, but Yeah, so fighting and bare knuckle boxing and everything like that, man, that became something where the travellers really could shine because that was a part of our ethnicity.
But it was taken away as well, though.
But it was legalised in a sense. It was taken away from the streets, but legalised in the ring. And the women and their dresses and their badges and the whole lot. And what I find is that was, you either boxed or you didn't, or you done nothing in the travelling community.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can go and be a nurse. I heard that there's a Tipperary footballer who, I think he won the minor All-Ireland last year. Tom Delaney, one of the Delaney's anyway. Shout out to him. But like
well
to just hear that, that a traveller was a part of a panel of Gaelic footballers that won a medal, could even be a hurler. Sorry, son. And then you have rappers and you have filmmakers. Go up to Dublin. You have different production companies, all predominantly made by travellers. And I'm just like, isn't it a great time to be a traveller?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to finally see, like, instead of being stigmatized, people can actually see there's different types of people among the travelling community. Like, not everyone wants to do the same thing. Some of us want to actually go out and make a difference and actually make our next generation that's going to come up small but easier for them. So it won't be as tough. And
I think it also comes down to the character of the travellers that are out there now today as well. And I don't mean me and you sitting at this table, but what I mean is, if you had the real, and they exist, the evil ones, the spiteful little, the spiteful little ones.
I know.
If you had them in them positions, them doors would be shut straight away due to that, because they're coming in there with an ignorant mind and a closed thing, and they're the men. Yeah. Whereas, like, if we come in
and
with
they
open hearts,
they know better than what you will ever know.
You'll never educate them.
Yeah. No.
But if you come in with an open heart. And like I've seen it with other travellers, and not just me. I've watched other travellers in environments, and it's how they all approach the situation. And man, I commend any traveller that's able to swallow that little bit of entitlement that we all feel that we deserve, in a sense of respect. And
it's kind of like putting the ego aside.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And kind of opening yourself to like everything else in a sense, not like kind of judging everything, just leaving things be what they are, and that's it. Like, really.
Well, I suppose at the end of the day as well, it's down to fear.
A lot of it is down to fear. It is because they don't.
Things like that.
Yeah, because I've even experienced that somewhat myself. When I kind of didn't kind of like follow the traveller kind of lifestyle, like getting married young and stuff like that, and I kind of went off and did my own thing. I started doing tattoos for a while. I did acting for a while. I tried a few different things because I didn't want to kind of do the same thing everyone else was doing. I wanted to do something different. And like ever since I started doing that, like I don't really get called on as much as I used to by the boys or anything like that. And I'm not saying nothing is wrong about it. Like, everyone has their own lives, everyone has stuff to do, but I felt it. The minute I started kind of branching out to kind of try something different, you could feel like, what are you doing, so that kind of when it was kind of against it. But now they can kind of see the fruits of my labour, and they're kind of starting to understand me now. And they're starting to say, okay, maybe Thomas is doing something right here. He's actually getting a bit of notoriety and stuff like that. He's actually making an impact and stuff like that.
I'll just tell you this one, it's so easy to lose your head. God knows I'm guilty of it.
You're your twin over here, bro.
But the other part about it is trying to have an understandingness, and like I believe that, man, as well. I've often went into places where my past life and who I was in a past life, I would be around them people who would have known me from a past life and wouldn't have seen me in X amount of years, and then I come back and I walk in the door as Wilsey, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm Wilsey. But don't you ever forget that I can go back to that in 2 seconds.
In a second.
But it's not that we can touch that in 2 seconds and that's what we hold over. It's about being able to come back into these places, man. And when you start talking to these people, as you said, you start to see the benefits of your labour, the fruits of your labour, because then they start to look at you as in like, it's funny, man. I had this person come up to me recently and they were like, bro, I know me and you fought now for years and everything like that, but you seem to be getting on well in life. Any chance you put in a word to get me a house? I'm like,
they didn't want to help you when you started out, but then as soon as you get a bit of notoriety, they didn't want to jump on the bandwagon. Like,
I put in the word for him. No.
You didn't say what words you were going to put in.
No.
There's thousands of words.
But I actually did. Went out of my way to put in a word for him, because I believe that we shouldn't be the same as what we're fed. We should be different.
Yes, you have to leave some things
go. It's all about change as well. You know what I mean?
But you have to leave the past go, because if you don't leave the past go, you'll always be stuck in the past.
Let the past be the past. We'll take it further.
Do you know what I mean?
Still looking at all them. You could go back into that person like in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but
Do you know what I mean?
but the good thing about it is having control over it. Though. That's the only thing about it. You have to have discipline over it. Being a monster is great if you can control it.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Because like you have to be like even in this kind of environment, you have to be a monster, but you have to be able to control it. Otherwise, you won't get far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. And of course, if anyone is out there in NoSpudz land listening to these podcasts and you have opinions or you want to come on the show or you want to leave your own mark here or talk back or give out, just feel free to let us know.
Or if you want to hear us talk about something that you interest yourselves.
You got topics, you want to hear us run over it and analyse it and stuff like that, we can do that. That's no problem. Boys, have we anything else left on the wheel?
No.
Well, it's been a great week for me and yourself. We've travelled all over the place and we have another place to go to Friday, huh?
Yeah.
So Friday, yeah.
Shout out to Doolin Arts. Shout out to Welcome to the New World all day, every day. And they work endlessly behind the scenes to make me look so good, not my face, but the rest. And of
you
course.
You said that, not us.
What do you always got to get involved? Why is it always you? Like, so for people who can't picture what we're actually doing right now, we're sitting around a round table and we're full of people here and he just picks. It's obviously. I'm giving up.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, okay.
What did I do? What did I commit to?
It's time to close down the show.
But yes, it's been a great few minutes.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, cause you have to get the fuck out of here now. Get the fuck out. You're not welcome. Come on.
I'm telling my mother to break her windows. What am I doing?
Listen, if we rob your house, you can't say nothing because like you left the doors open.
Hi. Come on, good luck, Joe. All right?
Good luck.
Go on. This was the NoSpudz podcast, baby, episode number 4. Tell your mother listening.
Yeah.